You know who it is, Game Guy Goldie, the one and only, on another live stream episode of Don't Hate the Player, Learn the Game. Let's get into it, kick some game tonight with y'all. Game you ain't never heard before. You ain't never heard nobody talking like this. If you have, tag them so I could sue them for stealing my game. All right, we doing questions tonight. What questions we got?
Okay, someone said, can you talk about how being alone makes you strong?
When you're alone, it makes you strong because you develop not needing anyone. And the only way you gonna have power in any relationship is when you're not scared to be alone. As long as you're dependent on somebody else for emotional support, as long as you're scared to be alone, that person can play on that fear. You'll put up with things you don't want to put up with. You'll deal with treatment that you shouldn't deal with because you can't be alone. So the longer you could be alone and be okay with being alone and love being alone, you're always going to a relationship in a place of strength because you don't need them, you just want them. So the moment they don't treat you the way you feel like you deserve to be treated, it'll be easy for you to walk away and you can't be manipulated. Anytime you're dependent on somebody for something like companionship and not being alone, you're in a position where they can manipulate you. Next question. Come on, we come with something. Come with something.
Someone said, so exactly what do you do?
I do whatever I want to do. Right? I just be me. Right? I live my life and I just be me as the example to other people that didn't know they could live like this. You know, I just be me. And just by me being me in front of other people allows other people to be able to be themselves. They didn't know they could talk like this. They didn't know they could act like this. They didn't know they can be themselves and still have some money. They didn't know they could be themselves and still have women. They didn't know they could speak their mind and be free and still have the things they wanted to. See, me just living in front of people allows them to talk the way they want to talk. I'm not the only one who thinks these thoughts. Society has beaten you down to not feel okay to be yourself. And you know what happens? You fake long enough, you'll forget how to be real. And most of you forgot how to be real. Most of you couldn't raise your voice if you wanted to. Most of you couldn't tell that broad what you really felt about it, even if you wanted to. Because if you walk on eggshells long enough, you're going to lose your voice. And most of y'all done lost your voice. So just by me being myself, raw, uncut, uncaring, it allows that little piece inside of you, that little man inside of you that you done repressed your whole life because of society, because your mama, because the women, because of what you watching on TV. It allows that little piece inside of you to say, you know what, let me assert myself again. So that's what I do. I just be myself, the man that I am, the man that's inside of everybody. I just be real. And it allows everybody else to realize how much they faking and become real themselves. And you know, I'm doing God's work out here. That's what I do. I do coaching. I give men advice. I give women advice. I show people the things that it took me to get to where I wanted to be. You know, I went through ups and downs. I went through trials and tribulations. I've been broke. I've been rich. I've been broke again, rich again. You know, so I just tell my story. I just be me. I get paid to be me. It's a beautiful thing. Next question.
All right. Someone said, what's the biggest thing that happened to you that made you into a better man?
Having a child. Going to jail. The most stressful situations of my life made me everything that I wanted to be. All the things I would have never chose to go through gave me and made me everything I wanted to be. You know, and I would say it wasn't really having a child. It was having a baby mother who was stressed me out a lot. Right. But pressure makes diamonds. Having to go through that, having to navigate those type of emotions, having to navigate somebody who, you know, has power over you and is using that power in a negative way. Being in a situation that I wasn't fully in control of forced me to develop certain ways of thinking, forced me to develop certain ways to control my emotions, forced me to get creative, forced me to have game, to win a situation where I wasn't the one with the power. And, you know, it grew me. You know, having a son, that also makes you have to grow up. It makes you more responsible. Going to jail, you know, it helped me realize how valuable my freedom was, you know, and how I was throwing it away for nothing, you know, and that really changed my life there because it was the first time I ever read a book. And after I read my first book, you know, I was off to the races and I realized how much game was in books. And if I never went to jail, I would have never sat down long enough to read one. So the hardest situations you go through, man, will probably make you what you want to be if you use it. There's the seed of an equal or greater opportunity in every negative situation if you take the time to find the seed of it. Most of y'all just gonna sit and complain though.
I remember you saying something about planting seeds for the girl to be better in the future. Does it depend on the girl's goals, like her goals?
Planting seeds for the girl to be better in the future. I don't remember saying anything like that. What I said was you need to always be planting seeds for whatever the end desired result is that you want. It doesn't matter if it's about her being better. It doesn't matter what her goals are. I'm not thinking about her goals. I'm planting the seed of what I want to sprout. So it doesn't matter what it is, whether she got goals, whether it's something you want her to do. I'm planting a seed in her mind. I'm saying something that she could never unhear. And if she can't unhear it, that means it's nestled snugly in the soil of her mind. Once you hear something, you can't unhear it. And she'll ponder on that. And when she ponders on that, she's watering it herself. She's cultivating it herself. So you got to be very specific and strategic about what you plant in a woman's mind. You want to uplift a woman's spirit, man, I'm not going to do that. I would say don't. Why would you want to take a woman who, if you want to uplift her, that means where's she at? She's very low, which means she's low vibrational. Why would you want to step into a woman's life who's on a lower tier than you and build and bring her up? It takes a lot of energy. Why is she that fucking worthy to even do that for? I'm not doing it. I'm going to this is what I always say. You don't take ducks and teach them to fly. You find eagles and teach them to fly in formation. Why are you finding a woman who needs to be uplifted? I'm going to go find a woman who already has a high-spirited energy and just needs a little direction. That's the difference between taking a duck and teaching it to fly versus taking an eagle and just teaching it to fly in formation. Get the woman who already has the right energy, who already has the right personality, who already is in the right spirits. She just needs some direction. But go ahead, do what you want to do. I'm just telling you, no broad is that important to me.
What mental process did you use while your external reality was catching up to what you feel about yourself mentally or internally?
Affirmations, subliminals, reading and writing my goals, having a war map, which means knowing exactly what I'm looking for, dream building, watching things on TV of what I aspire to have, listening to the music that inspires me and is talking about having more and doing more and coming up. You know, essentially, I would just brainwash myself to be and feel in the space of already having it. And I've done this many times. So every time I fell off, I know I'm going back to the basics. It's all about my mindset. I have to feel on that high frequency state as if I'm already where I want to be, as if it's already happening. So then where I was at didn't even really matter because I believed it so much in that moment that I was somewhere else. Eventually, reality just caught up to how I was feeling. So I understand. Started to see the correlation between my thoughts, my feelings, and my reality really young. If I was in a negative state a lot, if I was doing negative things, if I was feeling mad all the time, if I was watching all the wrong things, I would see my life started to become a reflection of that. And then when I would switch it up and do all the right things, watch all the right things, stop watching the bad things, start listening to the right things, I would see my life would be a reflection of that. So once I started noticing that correlation, I started playing games with myself to see, okay, what if I cut out all the bad music, all the bad TV shows? What if I only start listening to good music? What if I only start listening to things that inspire me? What if I only start watching things on TV? What if I only start listening to these subliminals? What if I only start watching multi-millionaire things on YouTube every day? And I would literally do these thought experiments with myself, and over weeks of doing it in the positive, miracles would seemingly happen. I would get phone calls for opportunities. Money would fall in my lap and things would start to correlate. So I always go back to that now. Like if I'm ever in a space that I don't want to be in, or if I ever feel like, well, I really need to get it together, I just curate my environment for nothing but positivity, put myself in a place where I'm always feeling good. I'm always having some good music on. I'm always watching positive things on TV. I'm only having good conversations. I'm only dreaming, doing a dream book about all the things that I want, listening to the right music and things like that. But come on, let's go to the next question. I'm not proud of myself about a lot of things, not because I shouldn't be, because I just got high standards for myself. The things and places that I want to go in life are so far off in the future. I don't really pat myself on the back. But, you know, I am proud of myself that, that I have full custody of my son. You know, I feel like that was a big thing for me.
I've been kicking it with my chick and her best friend and sending them on little girl trips. What's the next step towards polygamy and making them feel comfortable with it? Start investing or helping them with goals?
So he has a woman.
Yes.
And he's been taking her and her friend on girls' trips.
Uh-huh.
And what?
What's the next steps towards polygamy and making them feel comfortable with it?
Man, you started wrong. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you why it's not going to happen, because that's not how you started. So because you didn't start like that, you didn't lay the proper foundation in the woman's mind to be accepting of that. Oh, yeah, it's all fun and games when it's for fun. But when that other woman becomes your woman, it's not going to be the same. You don't even know if she's going to go for it. Just because you can have fun on vacation with some women doesn't mean they're going to actually be your woman. And then you have to vet the situation to even know if you want that. Have you even done the proper vetting to see if she likes you enough and is cooperative enough to even be a woman that you want in your household? Listen, it's a privilege to be in your household. Every woman who look good can't just be there. She has to jump through some hoops. You coming into my sphere, you coming into my kingdom. And the wrong energy, the wrong woman will bring and tear everything you got going on down. So it's not what your country, I say like this, it's not what the people can do for your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. That's what you got to tell the broad. It's not what I can do for you. It's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. And that's how you got to think about it. Are you worthy of even coming into my household? You need to have a woman feeling like she wants to be a part of what you got going on. Not like, oh, let me convince her to get down with me. If you got to convince her to get down with you, man, you're starting off on the wrong foot. The woman should see how you living with your woman, what you doing, everything you got going on, and be like, damn, I want to be a part of that. Man, look how he bossed this chick up. Look at the things that they do and the places that they going. I want to be a part of that. Then you start to put them seeds in her head when she starts to want to come around more. Then you start letting her know what it's going to be required of her to come and get down with you. Because if it ain't no requirements, easy come, easy go, she going to come in and she going to leave. But it ain't gonna happen. No, I'm gonna tell you like this right now. It ain't gonna happen. You better off just trying to get a whole nother situation. And from the gate, from inception, when you meet the woman, you let her know what it is. I would never accept a woman with a friend. This happened a lot in the game too. You'll try to knock a woman. She ready to come. She like, oh, I got a friend. Or I got my other wifey, or I got this person. Did it a couple times. I realized I'll never do it again. Why? Because they have a connection and a bond that you don't have. So now, instead of you having this personal connection, their connection together is going to override your connection. It's going to be them two against you. So no, I don't even want your friend. The broad that come in this household is going to be a broad that I met that you didn't even meet. Unless you really got a girl with a liquor license and she really going out there and doing that, which you probably don't have. Because now you're in power. Because you brought her in. She came in because of you. I want a woman coming in because of me. The bond that I have with each one of my women got to be stronger than the bond they have together, because either one of these women could be gone. I'm always going to be here. So I need to be the dominant influence in that situation. So no, I don't want her. I want a woman that she don't even know. Okay.
He said, I pull mad chicks, but I have a problem with following up with them. What's some tips for the follow-up game?
I don't see what a problem is. You pulling chicks, but you don't follow up. Obviously, they not enticing enough for you to follow up. If it was, a superstar in your eyes, you'd follow up. So obviously, you ain't following up because the broads you catching ain't on that level to where you feel like you want to follow up.
So what's your advice for a young player that's intelligent? How do you find another woman that's intelligent like myself?
I mean, ask yourself, why do you want that? Intelligence doesn't equal money. Now, I'm not saying you want somebody stupid, but at the end of the day, I don't want a woman because of her intelligence. I want a woman because she can do and follow instructions of what the fuck I'm talking about. And sometimes it's not going to be the woman who might be the brightest. You want an intelligent woman who don't listen? Or do you want a woman who's not that intelligent, but she has a pleasing personality, but she loves your dirty draws, but she's going to do whatever you say, but she follows instructions well, right? Those are the things I'm looking for. What's a bitch intelligence going to do for me? I got some clergy work for her to do. I need her to type up for me. No, I don't need that. I can go hire somebody for that. I need a woman who's going to be cooperative, who has good energy, has a pleasing personality, and makes the energy right and can follow instructions. I mean, of course, you don't want no dummy, but talking about you want a woman who's intelligent, right? People who are quote unquote intelligent are not the richest in the world. People who are quote unquote intelligent, they say, are also some of the most miserable people because they overthink things. Somebody who's intelligent, you can give them a plan and a blueprint, and I do this in coaching. And they're not going to do it because they got to know, well, why is it going to work? Well, what about this? Well, they're going to overthink and overanalyze things. Somebody whose IQ is not as high, they're going to take a blueprint and they're going to run with it. So I wouldn't be looking for a woman who's highly intelligent. I think you're thinking about things the wrong way. Next question.
What's one of the most important things you learned from a mentor?
It's too many things. It's too many things.
Okay.
Well, I'll say one. But I mean, it's just so many things. Like, you can't just be like, oh, what's the most important thing? But I'll say this, man. He says it all the time. Y'all have heard him say it. Your frequency is what you frequently see, right? If you can monitor your frequency, if you can monitor your mindset, if you can learn how to curate to be in the mood that you want to be in, you will be able to create the life that you want. When you're not in a high frequency state, when you're not in the right state of mind, when you're not being positive, when you're not being optimistic, when you're not in that spirit, guess what? You're going to color the entire world and every action of everybody around you in whatever state that you're in. You will literally see opportunities, meet the right woman, meet the right connections, meet the right friends when you're in a high frequency, positive state. And when you're in a low frequency, negative state, you're going to color the world with that. You're going to see no opportunities. You're not going to meet the right woman. You're not going to meet the right connections. You're not going to see how things are going to work, and your life is going to get worse. And so when you really realize that, you really make sure that you put yourself in a position to where you're in the right state daily. And every super successful person that I know has a daily routine where there's 5 minutes or an hour that puts them in the correct state, because in that correct state, everything works. And in the wrong state, nothing's going to work. And that's why it's very important to curate what type of women you have around you, because most of you will never be in that proper state, because every time you kind of get there, that broad is doing something to piss you off and put you in that lower state. And in that lower state, you're never going to reach your goals. And most people, most dudes I see, they're never going to get to where they want to be, because they're never going to be consistently in that proper state that they need to be in, that's going to see the solutions, that's going to see how it's going to work, that's going to have them meet the right people, have the right energy and things of that nature. So learn how to have tools to put yourself in the right state, because whatever state you in is going to be the state of your life, because you color everything through your mindset of how you seeing things and how you feeling.
What are some basic requirements for new women?
Basic requirements for new women. Well, like I say it all the time. How much she likes me is number one. Okay, how fine she is. I don't care what she's doing in life. She has to like me a lot. She has to see so much value in me. That's going to negate most of the issues. It's going to negate most of the games. It's going to negate all the problems that you're going to have. A woman who met, let's say, who's a popular dude this day and age? I always say Chris Brown and Drake, because, in my era, those were like the most popular men. So we'll just go with that. Most women in the era of these individuals, they're not going to play games with these guys when they text. They're not going to slow text these guys. They're not going to play games. They're not going to say, oh, I'm not going to text back. Let's see if he texts back first. They're not going to do these things. Why? Because they see them in such high esteem with so much value, they don't play any games. So that's going to be an easy relationship. So therefore, you have to make sure the woman likes you a lot. That's number one. Number two, she has to have a pleasing personality. Number three, she has to be cooperative. Number four, she has to take instruction without any kickback. You have to be able to tell her, stop doing that. You have to be able to tell her, hey, go do this for me. You have to be able to say, hey, can you open my door? You have to be able to say, hey, can you pump my gas? Not because you're forcing her to do something she doesn't want to do. Because if she can't do these little things, she's never going to do the big things, right? If you can't get a woman to do that for you, she doesn't see you as a person of value. Do you think if Chris Brown asked most women, hey, they driving in his Lamborghini, and he pulls up to the gas station and he says, hey, can you go get my gas? You think she's going to say no? She goes in, she pays for the gas. You think you say, hey, can you pump the gas real quick? Do you think she's going to say no? Do you think she's going to say no? 99.9% of women are not going to say no. Why? Because they see him in high value, right? So if your woman don't see you like that, don't fuck with her. Or you can fuck with her, but I'm telling you, you're going to have problems.
How do you crack a chick that you work with, but she's your boss?
I mean, one, you got to ask yourself, do you really want to do that? And two, I mean, it's really not that hard, man. Man, I know dudes who was cracking teachers when I was in school, cracking the boss. I mean, that'd be the boss's fantasy for real. You really just gotta let it be known that's what it is, and eventually she gonna crack. Man, I know dudes right now in prison, man, cracking all the female COs. Like, if you really understand women are disgusting. They are disgusting, man. It's not that hard. They have all these fantasies, man. They read all of these 50 Shades of Grey. They watch all of these sitcoms. That's their fantasy to do something they not supposed to do. So all you got to do is keep on picking at it, keep on picking at it, keep on saying little stuff, keep on smirking, keep on, and I guarantee you're going to get it. It's not even going to be hard.
I got the Millionaire Daily Blueprint. Next step is the fitness module for me, but it won't let me get it. Did you stop the macros portion?
No, it's not a course. It's something you got to tap in with me specifically and get on my program, get on my private app. We dial in your macros. We put the workouts up. We track your macros. We track what you're eating daily. And you know you're going to get the results. So you got to tap in with me. Next question. Okay,
someone said they took your advice and they see all the women were frauds, but now my money will grow. They said, thank you, Goldie.
Hey, man, you got to expose these frauds, man. Hey, how you going to know something's a fraud if you don't put it through a test? Right? You got to put it through a test. And most of you dudes, you don't put these women through tests. And that's why dudes, they be in relationships 2-3 years and then they be like, oh, she played me. No, she didn't play you. You just never gave her a test. You don't know who somebody is until you put them through a test. And most of y'all want to commit to these women before you actually put them through a test. Everybody could act good when they're going good, but can you do bad good? She don't even know who she is until it's a test involved. So if you ain't putting out tests to a woman, man, I don't feel bad when it all fall apart because you never tested that woman's character.
Young Goldie, I'm 17 years old, about to be 18 in a month. I wanted to know any advice you have for me when it comes to women getting money and a business and how to carry yourself on an everyday basis. Man,
you asking a whole lot of questions. You need to get some coaching. Like the best thing I ever did in my life, even before I transitioned into business, is I got mentors. I got around people that I admired certain characteristics from, and I learned directly from them. I was critiqued directly from them. So if you really want to learn some things, man, it's $50 a month and you can get weekly calls, group calls. You want to step it up, you can do one-on-one calls. You want to really step it up, one-on-one mentorship, I got that too. I mean, or you can watch these videos and catch crumbs here and there, and that might help you. But the best thing I would say for anybody in life, the cheat code to my life was mentors and mentorship.
So any game on how to pull women and master the game where you're young and broke, what's the method that works best?
Well, man, if you broke, it's like, why you trying to master catching women, man? Why don't you master your money? Man, once you get the money, it's going to be a lot easier to catch those women, right? When you're trying to catch women, you ain't got no money, man. You really ain't got, I mean, even let's say you do catch women. I know dudes out here, he ain't got no money, they catching a lot of women. You really just going to waste your time. And you really need to use that time to get some money. Now, if you don't give a fuck about money, then all right, shit, go catch some women. Like, do it 1,000 times. Like, I used to talk to 100 women a day. Every day I caught a woman who really, really liked me. Most dudes, they're going to go out, they're going to talk to 100 women in a month. And in a month's time, they're going to catch one woman. Most of them ain't going to catch none. Why? Because they're going to get discouraged on day 3 because their volume isn't high enough. See, I understand that it's only going to be 1 out of 100 women who are going to really fuck with me and like me for real. Love my dirty draws, pump my gas if I ask them to, you know, do anything I say and accept me as I am. It's going to be a 1 out of 100, but I'm not mad at that. I'm going to put my work in. I'm going to do 100 a day. At the end of a week, I got 7. You get what I'm saying? So really just put your volume in and understand, man, the woman that you're looking for is not in abundance, and that's okay. So put your work in. I guarantee you'll master talking to women in a month's time if you talk to 100 women a day.
How do I start a polygamous relationship with a monogamous woman I bear kids with?
Well, you probably ain't gonna do it, but she would be okay with that with a new man that she hasn't met before. But because you already started a certain way, it's gonna be really hard to change her mindset and get her out of how she already been feeling versus her coming into a situation understanding that's what it is. Now, it's not impossible, but you know, it's probably not gonna work. You know, and then it's kind of like this, right? Why don't you just stop being with her, get another woman, and build a polygamous relationship with that woman because she's coming in the door understanding the dynamics. Don't you think it's kind of unfair that you got with a woman, had kids with her, been with her all this time, and then want to switch up and tell her, hey, I don't want it to be like this no more. I want to have multiple women around here. You really think she's going to go for that? Maybe she might. But what you're doing is you're asking for trouble. And you got kids too. You're probably going to put yourself in a predicament you don't want to be in. And I'd like to know, like, why do you want to be in a polygamous relationship? I really want to know your reason. It's not what you think. Huh?
They think it's cool.
Yeah, you think it's, yeah, you think it is. Yeah, all right. All right, I know dudes right now. They riding Rolls Royces. They broads is riding G-Wagons. They do, and I look at them, it look like they live in a lavish life. They living in mansions and shit. It don't impress me because I've lived that life and I know what they're going through. I know they're going through hell. I'm still tapped into the game. I get phone calls on a regular when broads come up with money. Let me just tell y'all this, right? Imagine your woman right now. She already got an attitude. She already be tripping sometimes, right? Now, imagine that same type of woman is rich, right? Women out here dudes that I know, they getting $2,500 a night, $5,000 a night. Sometimes they hitting certain days, $50,000. Do you know the type of attitude a woman has that brings in that type of money? It's not going to be a fun situation for you. So I would just ask you, why do you want to have that many women? Because it's just going to be a problem multiplied. You got to have the temperament for it, and it could drive you crazy. Next question.
Okay, this is good. I just want to say thank you for changing my perspective on women, bro. I've now started reading, and now I'm on my goals to becoming one of the best film directors in the world.
That's what's up. I'm out here doing God's work, man.
I said, how do you know what women's fantasies are?
Most women have the same fantasies because they all watch the same movies. They've all been programmed by the same shit. See, when I was coming up, I had a mentor once. You know what he told me? He was like, hey, man, you got to get into these women's minds. Right back at the time, what was the movie? Twilight. He was like, man, you got to watch movies like this. It was another one at the time. What was the movie? Man, like all of the biggest, 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, that was for sure. He made a study, that one. It's another one where the woman, she was with somebody and then she ended up going for the poor dude.
The Notebook.
Notebook. Women are ultra impressionable beings, easily programmable from birth, right? So most women have the same fantasies. They watch the same movies, watch the same sitcoms. So you just have to be and give her the show that she's been watching her whole life. So you got to be into the things that women are into, and you know exactly how to play on her.
So is it bad to go to work and give all your money to your woman? I know the answer. I just want to see you go off real quick.
Nah, I ain't even going to do it because you asking one-on-one questions. I mean, if you want to go to work all day and bring your woman back the money, hey, man, that's your prerogative. I don't got no problem with it. I'm not going to do it. But if you want to do that shit, however a man want to live, that's his choice.
What is your opinion on the passport, bro?
Man, do what you want to do.
Who is that?
Dudes who go overseas and either catch a woman and marry her or whatever. This is what I say about most passport bros. You're essentially getting a prostitute. She's only with you for the money. She sees you as a rich individual the same way a woman out here in Miami is dealing with a dude, 50-year-old dude, and being in pocket because he's rich and he can take care of her lifestyle. And ain't nothing wrong with that. If you want to go get you a woman who sees you as such a prize because of the financial status that you have in a country, go ahead and do that. Just don't dilute yourself into thinking that broad like you, And for most of you passport bros, come on, man. We not going to act like you over there trying to find a woman. You out there fucking a bunch of prostitutes and you finna catch something. I done been to all these countries, man. These women will do anything for nothing. You don't think the most disgusting dudes you've ever seen in your life ain't going over there on a regular and paying them extra to do things unprotected? And that same broad, you finna go over there and you think just because she acting nice and she's docile and no, they're all for sale. And if they for sale, you just got to imagine the worst person that you can think of has probably had her before. So do what you want to do, though.
How do I know if I put a woman through enough for her to be my woman?
Man, only you could decide that. You asking a question. I can't answer that for you. Only you could decide that. But me, I like to put a hard test on them. I like to put a test on them so hard that it's like most women ain't going to do that. But if you put a test on her hard enough to where it's like she ain't going for it, and she go for it, man, then you know. But that's just my standard. Everybody ain't got to have my standard. Most of you dudes have women in your household that just kind of fucking with you. I just don't deal with women like that. Women got to be all in fucking with me. Like I said before, man, you got to own your woman. A lot of you dudes have a woman, but you don't own your woman. The only woman could deal with me is a woman that I can own, and she understands that I can own her. If she's not giving it to me like that, I don't want her.
You have your choice to knock a cooperative female, the hospital cafeteria, Comic-Con, or gas station, or the grocery store.
Where would I try to knock a woman?
Yes.
He said Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, gas station, grocery store, hospital cafeteria.
I'm going to go to Comic-Con. Yeah, I'm going to go to Comic-Con because, she's super square. She obviously deal with a bunch of squares. Man, I love me a square woman. You know why? Because she gonna give you her life and her soul, because you gonna turn her out to some shit she ain't never seen, man. You know, a square broad is square not by choice, but because she ain't been able to catch a fly guy, man. But when you take a super square broad, and you invite her into the life of a fly guy to do fly shit, cool shit, and make her feel cool and turn her up, come on. She'll give her life to you, man. I do it often, man. The squarer she is, the better. I don't even want no broad that's already turned up. I want the squarest of the square, the doctor. I want the lawyer. I want the one. Why? Because this shit is exciting. I just said, talk about fantasy, especially like women who aren't black. Oh, they love being with black people. And you got to turn it on, you know, because they think all black people are the same. So you got to give them what they want. Got to give them what they want. They are looking for the typical black person that they think, oh, but that's exciting to them. You know, so that's what you do, man. I had a mentor in the game. He used to say, hey, man, when you catch the white bro, when you catch the Asian, they're thinking of you to be this typical black guy. So give them a show. Put your gun out when you're driving, you know, pull up to the hood. This is what they want. They've been watching TV their whole life. It's exciting. So you get a broad like that and you show her that, she gonna be like, damn, she ain't never gonna be able to go back to one of them Comic-Con dudes. I'm telling you, I'm giving you some game right now. Giving you some game.
It's difficult being faithful to one woman. I tried it my whole life and I'm failing miserably.
Is that a statement, or you got a question on that? Hey, man, well, you ain't got to. You know, I don't understand why you would put yourself in bondage like that anyway. Do what you want to do. And, you know, the act of doing what you want to do will make you not even want to do it. See, what you don't really understand is we always covet things that we don't have and we can't do, right? That's why women like to have sex with inmates, like the female COs have sex with inmates. The boss like to have sex with the assistant. You know, we like to do things that are forbidden to do. When you're in a situation where you have a woman and you can do whatever you want to do, you're not even going to desire to do it as much because of the fact that you know you can. So I would just say, man, don't put yourself in a position where you got to be monogamous. Any woman that want to deal with you, tell her what it is. I promise you it's going to be way more women that are accepting of it than not. Next question.
Will you ever get married?
On paper? I mean, if you're talking about will I ever get married on paper in front of the government, where certain clauses and things that will affect my life if I fall out of that marriage, probably not. But I mean, like I said before, man, hey, if it's a broad out here with $50, $100 million, hey, yeah, I'll do it. It's the benefit is in my favor. But as long as the benefit is not in my favor, I don't need the government in my business like that. I could love somebody and commit to somebody without having a piece of paper that the government owns.
What do you do if your girl says she wants to stop having sex because she wants to work on herself spiritually?
I wouldn't bat an eye. I wouldn't bat an eye, because I wouldn't be playing that game that she's trying to play with you right now. Because that's all it is. Woman say something to me like that, okay, it's a game. It's her game. I'm not going to play her game. Okay, for sure. That's all you say. Now understand there's other things going on, and you just need to prepare for what's coming next and prepare your exit. but don't feed into it. Because listen, I'm going to tell you, woman tell you something like that, man, it's a couple things going on. She don't like you, or she was out fucking around on you, caught a STD. She got to get them pills and clear it up before she start fucking you again. So, be careful.
When do you suggest screening a female you just met for STD when pursuing personal pleasure without coming off as a weirdo?
Off the dribble. Man, it's not a game out here, off the dribble. You know, I mean, because you can say, oh, well, I don't want to come off as a weirdo. Or you can come off as somebody who got something that you can't cure. You know, so, you know, you want to fuck with me? Come on, baby, let's go. Hey, make it a date. Matter of fact, make it a date. Go down to schedule an appointment for you and her and just be like, hey, baby, we finna go do this real quick. You know, and if she got a problem with it, man, I mean, I don't see how a woman could have a problem with that. At least, you know, you safe.
What should I do at 17 to gain more discipline and knowledge in my life?
Yeah, sign up for my program, man. I got the blueprint. That's all we talk about. That's all we're about, is the daily blueprint to strengthen your mind and your discipline and your habits.
What does it mean when a woman stops sleeping with you at night and sleeps in another room?
She ain't fucking with you no more.
Can you do a book list 2.0? That might be good.
Well, I always update that book list regularly, but I could.
Someone keeps asking, are you and Pimpin' Ken still cool?
Yeah. Come on, man.
I asked like 10 times. So
me and Pimpin' Ken, man, I love Pimpin' Ken for life, man.
I said it's crazy dudes got to go out of the country to knock abroad.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really worry about what these niggas is doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even really realized passport bros was a real thing until recently, you know? Like,
How do you fight that feeling of rejection when you know that shit ain't you?
rejection?
Yeah, like rejection from a woman, maybe.
When you know what ain't you.
That ain't you.
What ain't you?
They didn't say.
I don't understand the question. I mean, it's just framework. You know, a woman reject me, man. She didn't reject me. I rejected her. She blind. She can't see properly. You know, like, is you looking at $1 million lottery ticket in front of your face and you too stupid to recognize it? Shit, that's your bad. You know, that's on you. I feel bad for you. And then it ain't even that, man. I ain't tripping. I'm looking for who's looking for me. So I'm not. I understand it. I don't like every woman I see. Well, I'm not so arrogant to expect every woman, you know, to see me and like me. I'm looking for who's looking for me. And the sooner I can find out that she's not looking for me, the sooner I can get on with my search to look for the one who is looking for me. So don't make it that heavy. Bitch don't want to fuck with me, cool. I don't want to fuck with you. I ain't mad at her for it.
How to overcome imposter syndrome?
Stop being an imposter. Confidence comes from competency. You're not competent enough. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't feel like that, right? When you do something enough times, you're no longer going to feel like an imposter because you're not. You know, so keep working on yourself, keep working on your skill, keep working on whatever it is until you so confident you ain't gonna feel like that no more. Do you feel like an imposter when you walk in, when you about to tie your shoe, like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this shit today? Like, come on, man. You ain't done it enough times. You might be okay, you might even be good, but you know, you ain't all the way there. And you might be there to everybody else's standard but your own, but then that means you got high standards, which means you got to still raise your level of your skill until you feel that confident to yourself. Once you confident, man, it ain't gonna make no difference no more.
They said how to teach a broad to leave.
To leave?
You got these men calling women broads.
Listen.
Calling women broads.
You got to teach a broad to leave, man. When a woman comes in your household, man, you can tell her how to get to you, but you don't never tell her how to leave. And that's when the problems arise and she do some fuck shit and she do this and she do that. You got to let a woman know when she comes into your household, hey, listen, ain't no locks on these doors. If you have any grievances about this situation, if you just ain't feeling right about this situation, if your parents got you feeling some type of way, if your brother got you, if your friends, if at any moment, for any reason, you feel like you want to leave, you don't got to go keep my car. You don't got to sneak away. You don't have to feel like I'm going to do you wrong and throw your stuff out. Come to me like a woman with respect. You can tell me your grievances if you want to, but you don't even have to tell me your grievances. All you got to do is let me know that you want to go. And I will make sure that you get to where you're going safely and amicably with some money in your pocket. That's how you let a woman know she could leave. And that's how you teach her how to leave. Otherwise, some women feel like, oh, well, if I try to leave, he's going to do this. If I try to leave, this going to happen. If I try to, so then they end up doing some weird stuff and sneak away stuff. But if you let it be known openly, hey, at any time you come to me, I'm not going to be mad. It's your choice to be here. It's your choice when you want to leave. I don't care if it's another man in the picture. I don't care if it's this. I don't care if it's that. You come to me like a woman with respect and let me know that's what we doing, and you can leave. Otherwise, man, in the game, you're going to go to prison. If she feels like she can't come to you and she, for whatever reason in her mind, you didn't tell her how to leave properly and she feels like it has to be a situation, you're going to go to prison. I've seen a lot of dudes go to prison because they didn't teach that woman how to leave. And if he'd have just let her know from the jump, hey, whenever you want to leave, you can go, she would have left in a different manner. But that don't apply to most of y'all. But even still.
How can I discipline my woman without putting my hands on her?
You have to have a reward and punishment system within your household. You can't give compliments every day. You can't tell her I love you every day. You can't give her physical touch every day. You can't have sex with her just because. Everything you do for her that she likes, learn your woman. What does she like? Does she light up when you touch her? Does she light up when you give her a massage? Does she light up when you call her babe? Does she light up when you say I love you? Does she light up when you give her compliments? You know, whatever she likes, you have to use that as a reward when she does something right. And whatever she likes, you have to take it away when she does something wrong. She does something you don't like, you withdraw your energy. You withdraw saying anything complimentary about her. You definitely withdraw sex. You don't even text back in the same fashion. If she has a problem, you don't even give her the same energy as if you care. Right? You have to take something away. It has to be consequence for her action, non-violently, of course. So, but most of you guys, you don't even have no reward system. You say, I love you every day, so it means nothing. You give her a compliment, say she look good every day, so it don't mean nothing. You take her out every week, so it don't mean nothing when you do it. You have to do things that she likes when she does things that you like. If a woman does something that I like, she might just want physical touch. Okay, that day, man, I put my arm around her when we was walking outside. Oh, that day, maybe I surprised her with some flowers. Okay, maybe I surprised her, say, hey, we're going out to eat today, right? Because she did something I like. And the time span when she does something that you like and you want to encourage that behavior, it has to be a really short window so she understands. It's like Pavlov's dog. Read the study. A dog, you ring a bell, you give it food. You ring a bell, you give it food. You ring a bell, you give it food. You stop giving it food when you ring the bell, the dog starts to salivate. Same thing with a woman. She does something that you like, you reward her. She does something that you like, you reward her. She does something that you like, you reward her. Now, when she does something that you like, she's already going to start already producing those feelings in her mind of you rewarding her even when you don't. And then same way, when she does something you don't like, oh, you get cold as the icy Himalayas. No contact, no touch, no compliments, no nothing. No, I love you. You know, even if you're going out to dinner, you just got to be real cold and just stoic and like, you know, make her feel it, you know, and real quick, she'll understand, okay, how to get the desired reaction from you. But most of you just do anything, do whatever, do this, do that. You have no game, right? Hope that explained it to you.
Will a relationship work if your woman has different interests than you?
It could work. But what the woman has to have above all is an interest in you. I don't care what she likes, things she likes to do and things of that nature. She has to like me enough to forgo those things to do what I want to do. If your woman don't like you enough to say, I'm willing to do whatever this man is into, a woman who really likes you is going to do whatever you want to do. She's going to like whatever you like. She's going to love the TV shows you watch. Man, when a woman like you, she's going to start listening to the music you listen to when she's not even with you. She's going to catch up on the TV shows that she knows that you like so she could talk to you about it. She's going to start mimicking the things that you do. It's like in high school. You know, you want to be what the cool kids is doing, you do what they do. If your woman don't see you like that and see you a value like that, you just with the wrong woman. Any woman, it don't matter. If she really into her man, she's going to want to be and do the things he likes. She will pretend to like things that you don't even like just to be with you. So like I say, everything goes back to one-on-one. Number one, how much does she like you? If you violate that rule, everything else is going to be harder. If you get that rule right, man, you don't even need no game. Everything's going to fall into place.
Tell us why it's important for a woman to invest in you first before you take her seriously.
Well, I don't know when I ever said a woman has to invest in you first before you take her seriously, but a woman has to invest something. Otherwise, she's not committed. It's easy to walk away from things that you're not invested in, right? Like I say all the time, if you go to a car lot and you say, oh, I like this car, it's a beautiful car, I'm going to get it, right? They say, okay, put down a deposit and we'll hold it for you, right? If you put down that deposit, you're more than likely going to come back for it. If you say, nah, I'm good, I'll take my chances, it's because you weren't serious in that car. If you were serious about buying that car, you'd have put a deposit down. So the same thing with a woman. If she's serious about you, she's going to make an investment. If she's not serious about you, she's not going to make an investment. That's why you always got to ask a woman for an investment, whether it's in the form of money, time, energy, some hoops she jumping through, a gift you make her give you. Something has to be invested because that just shows me you're serious. And if she's not willing to give me an investment, no harm, no foul. She don't like me like that. Glad I know. But most of you dudes is dealing with women who don't like you that much, and you could have found that out from the gate when you asked her for an investment. But most of you are not going to ask for an investment. You want to know why? Because you know she don't like you like that. You know she doesn't like you like that. You know you chased her. You know she's just fucking with you because you chased her down long enough. She's like, all right, fine. Well, he's doing all this. I might as well fuck with him.
They said they're proud of you in Sacramento.
Hey, Sacramento King, you know I'm putting on for the 916, you know, and I love the Bay, you know, Uncle from the Bay. But, you know, they don't give Sacramento enough credit. You know what I'm saying? So.
They said, when are you coming out with what to say, how to say it?
Well, I got it. It's just in PDF form, and I've been doing the actual commentary on it. It's just take a while, and I got a lot going on. But if you want to get just the PDF version, you know, for a steep discounted price, you can get that. Just DM me.
This is funny. They would ask you this. How to be low-key and not flashy, but appealing to women.
How to be low-key.
And not flashy.
Not flashy.
But appealing to
But
women.
appealing to women. Be low-key. I mean, you answer the question. if you're low-key, not flashy, you're going to be appealing to women who like low-key, not flashy dudes. And I mean, how many times have you heard a woman say, I like a low-key dude who's not flashy? You hear it all the time, right? And them bitches are liars. That's what they say. But everybody wants something flashy. You know, but somebody being flashy to a woman, a lot of times, you know, women like what's easy. They don't want a competition. So they don't want their man to be flashy. They like their man to be low-key because there's no competition. A woman knows, okay, if this man is flashy, if he's fly, if he's got all this going on, she understands how much competition she's going to have, which means she's going to have to stand up to some stuff, which means she's going to have to really come with it and not rest on her laurels when she's with this man because he's going to have a lot of options. So a lot of women go for the dude who's not that attractive, doesn't have this much going on. Why? Because she doesn't want to have to put her work in, you know? So you can be low key, you can be not flashy if you want to, but just understand the woman that's going to choose you is going to be a woman who's looking for a man like that because she don't want you to have a lot of options. And then I would ask you again, too, what program are you running in your mind that says you want to be low-key and not flashy? Right? Because a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that, but they don't really understand that's really a program. You've heard it so many times. They push it in the media. They push it in everything. You shouldn't be flashy. You shouldn't be this. You shouldn't be that. Ask yourself, why not? Why not? Why don't you want to be seen? Don't you feel like you're of value? If you're of value, if you feel like you have something valuable to say, if you feel like you are somebody that people should know, then why would you want people not to see you? That's all I would say. I hate when people say that shit. No, I don't want to be this, that, and the third. Well, nobody told you had to, so why you're projecting right now? Why such a big no? It's a movie, right? And it's a dude, he's trying to teach a man to get this woman. He's trying to teach her how to get the woman, and you know, he ends up catching the dude that's teaching him how to get with this woman, like looking at her pictures and gazing over her. And he was like, you love her, don't you? And he was like, no. And you know what he looked at him? He looked at him like this. He said, you love her, don't you? He said, no. When I was younger, my uncle would watch that movie with me, and he would say, pay attention to this part right there. When he asked him, did he love her? He said no. But you need to pay attention to how he said no. And my uncle would say this, why such a big no? Why such a big no? If he didn't love her, why such a big no? And I would say that to people who say, I don't want to be flashy, this, that, and the third. Why such a big I don't want to be flashy? You know, you're projecting something. You know, a lot of women, it's women who come up to me on a regular basis, like we'll just be having a conversation and out of nowhere, they'll say, I hope you don't think all that jewelry and stuff means something to me. And it lets me know it does mean something to her because I never brought it up.
Yeah, a written list of what he needs when he meets the bride.
As soon as you meet her. I mean, see, this is the thing. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Pulling out a list, man, there's no showmanship in that. Broad ain't gonna respect it. It's like this, right? Most women will do whatever you want them to do. They really just say, just make me feel good about it. Pulling out a list to a broad is not making her feel good about it. Nobody likes to feel like a trick. Nobody likes to feel like they're being used. A woman will do a whole lot of things if you just make them feel good about it. So coming out with a list and just, hey, on the table, hey, I need this. Put some showmanship in your game. You're lazy. You have no game. Dress it up. That's what the broads say, man. Hey, dress it up for me. I mean, I do it, but dress it up for me. Make me feel good about it. Take me on a date. Romance me. Open my door. Give me some roses. You know, say sweet nothings in my ear and then tell me what you want and whisper it in my ear real sexually or something. You know, I mean, you could do it like that and women are going to go for it. All I would say is, man, push some showmanship in your game. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And that's going to be the difference, especially with a woman. Because women, you know, they have this thing about themselves. It's a lot of things they'll do, but it's a lot of things that they don't want it to look like that's what they're doing. So, right, she'll do all these things for you, but you got to put it under the guise of something else, not just, lay it out to her, hey, this is what I need from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell a woman, hey, give me your money. Or you can romance her, be with her, and be like, hey, baby, I got big dreams. I got big things I got going on, and I know you support everything I'm doing. Can I have that? Right? It's a different way you go about it. Same result, though.
I started implementing not spending money on shorties at all. No food, no dates, nothing. I've noticed that it slowed my play up. Not going to lie, but the quality of women that I allow to entertain has gone up. Dang, he ain't doing nothing. That's crazy.
All right, listen. Because the only way you're going to know if a woman is really fucking with you for you is if you don't do nothing for her. If you're doing something for her, then you don't know if she's fucking with you for you or if she's fucking with you for the free meal, for the free vacation, for the free this. Now, I mean, you ain't gotta not do nothing, but I mean, a woman who wants to fuck with you for real, she don't care because she want to fuck with you. Do you think a woman who Chris Brown be like, hey, come over, let's chill at the house? You think she gonna say no? You think she gonna say, nah, we need to go on a vacation? No, we need to go to dinner. No, why? Because she sees him a value and just wants to be in his presence. So if you want to find a woman who just wants to be in your presence, man, the only way you're going to find that out is making your presence the only thing she gets from you when she meets you. Now, you know, if she stick around and do that long enough, then okay, you can do some things.
What's the minimum level of oblation you should should a square expect from a square chick before giving her penetration? What? I'm trying to understand.
Man, you got to set that for yourself, man. What do you feel like you need from her? What type of requirements? What type of behavior? What type of, you know, it all depends on what you're trying to get.
Someone said, thank you for your content. Definitely been helping me out since I've separated from my baby mother. You're really helping me work on my best self.
Hey, man, you know, that's what I'm doing. Hey, but don't just tell me you appreciate it. I got products you could buy. You want to support the movement. Right? Don't be around here just getting a bunch of free game, free information and being like the broad. You give, and she just take and don't give nothing back. Man, I got products. If you really appreciate me spending my time in this studio, this great content HQ studio, you know, and giving you this good content, hey, man, I got products for $9. You can support the movement. Don't just tell me something, man. Woman or man, I like you. I appreciate. Show me. Hey, man, and when you do a screenshot, send it to me so I know that was you.
How can you have the best game when you're broke?
Game ain't got nothing to do with money. Now, when you have money, of course, you got some tools, so your game could be, you know, you got a lot more tools in your game, but game is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Game is thinking ahead. Game is playing chess, not checkers. So you don't have to have money to run game to have game. You just got to be thinking, and you get more resourceful actually when you have no money, because you can't lean on your money like most dudes. Like dudes in the game, the ugliest, fattest dudes had the most women. Why? Because they couldn't lean on their looks. So when you don't have money, it forces you to dig deep and develop some more game and think outside the box. Work out, get your body right. Is this a man asking?
I don't know.
Yeah, work out, get your body right, man. Your body, you know, you have a nice body. Whatever your attractive level, it goes up 2-3 levels. So that's the easiest way to do it right there. You know, make sure your attire is proper. You ain't got to get your teeth done, but at least get your teeth scaled, get your teeth clean. You know, makes a huge difference in your face.
When do you think it is the perfect timing to get the woman I'm talking to on my program? I'm attracted to a high interest woman, and so far she's been very submissive, but how do I know if she's the one?
Man, you got to ask for it. You can't be scared to ask for it and see what your problem is. You're going to wait too long to ask for it and you're going to blow it. See, a lot of dudes, they'll be like, man, well, when should I ask for it? Man, you supposed to be dropping seeds that you want something from day one. You know, you ain't got to necessarily ask her for it, but you got to drop gems on a regular basis. Hey, baby, you know, I could do the in love thing, but I can't do the broken love. You know, you got to drop gems all the time. Hey, baby, let's go get some money. Right? Hey, we should be living like this. You always got to be dropping gems that you about your money, and you see her in that in some capacity. Otherwise, when you just get her in good with her and all of a sudden start to talk about some money, she's going to be like, where's this coming from? And she's not going to respect it. But from day one, in little slick, clever ways, you have to be letting her know you about your money. You want to be about your money with her. You see her doing big things. You want to elevate her. You want to elevate together. It got to be a we thing, not a you thing.
How do you better your sentence structure while conversing?
Get 1,000 reps in talking. Go to Toastmaster. Google it. Next one.
Do you have any money-making programs?
I do. Go to my school. Next.
If she gave you her phone passwords, will you browse through her phone every once in a while?
If I felt like it. Next.
They said, what's more important, the game or discipline?
Discipline.
What are some things you can do to make a woman comfortable enough to trust you with her money? How do you eliminate doubt?
Well, it depending on the situation. There's multiple ways you can go about it. But the way you get a woman comfortable giving you money is you got to act like you don't got it. Woman don't want to give you something if she feel like you need it. I had a mentor once. He said, man, you can't ask that woman for $10,000 if your car ain't even worth $10,000. She going to look at you like, well, what you need that for? A woman, just like in sales, people don't want to give you their money if they feel like you need their money. But somebody who doesn't seem like they need your money, they'll give you their money because they're not feeling like, oh, well, he's coming up off of me. So you could do it that way, right? Just you asking her for something that it looks like you play with all the time. If you looking like $1 million dude, hey man, there's nothing to ask her for $5,000-$10,000. But if you looking like a $20,000 dude, man, you can't ask for $10,000. She gonna be like, no, he gonna smoke it. What are you gonna do with that? He don't even know how to deal with that type of money, you know. And my watch costs $60,000, and I asked her for $5,000. That's small things to a giant, and she gonna see it in that fashion, you know. So that's one way. Another way is, like I say all the time, if she like you enough, man, a woman in love is gonna do anything. Have you ever seen a woman go anywhere without her purse? What I mean is, have you ever seen a woman not give a man that she's really dealing with everything? If she really love you, if she really into you, if she really care about you, she's going to do whatever for you. She'll break the bank for you. She'll go to jail for you. She'll do things, you know, she'll go against her family for you if she really dealing with you. So instead of just worrying about trying to get the money from the woman, get the woman and she going to come with everything she got. But you want to skip that. You want to skip that step. And see, when you want to skip the basics, then guess what? Now you got to have some game. Now you got to run game. When you really just could have got her, did whatever it took to get her, put your time in, put your work in. And once you get her, man, she gonna come with everything she got and some.
Is being genuine better than game?
Just because I'm running game don't mean I'm not genuine. Am I not being genuine when I'm trying to tell my son that, hey, if you eat this broccoli and these vegetables, you're gonna grow an extra 4 inches, and if you don't, you're gonna shrink? Right? If you understand the analogy I'm trying to say, I'm trying to do something in his best interest. I'm just going about it in a way that's going to get the desired result, right? It depends on your intentions, right? If you're genuine, you can still run game. Hey, man, this broad, she don't know what's best for her. So I got to dress it up for her. But at the end of the day, I know what I'm getting her to is actually good for her.
What to do when a female say I'm childish?
I mean, if a woman said to me that I'm childish, I would first see in the fashion that she said it, like maybe, you know, that's how she plays, and I'll just keep a straight face to let her know that that doesn't amuse me. But if she said it in like a real way where she really feels like I'm childish, I mean, that's just not a woman I'm dealing with. I would take that as almost the highest form of disrespect. If a woman said to me in a serious manner that I'm childish, I would take that means she's trying to little boy you. And I would take it as such. And I would deal with it in that fashion. Like, that's not a broad I'm dealing with, because she don't got no respect for me to say some shit. If a woman says you're childish and she means it, she see you like a little boy, which means you've been displaying or demonstrating a type of behavior that makes her feel like you beneath her.
How do you deal with disrespect from haters?
How do I deal with disrespect from haters, man? I don't feel it. Give a fuck what somebody talking about. Listen, honestly, right? When people hate on me, I see it as a sign of success, because I'm like, damn, I'm getting big. Like, think about Kim Kardashian, think about Donald Trump, think about like the biggest figures in the world. They have hate pages about them and things like that. So it's like a framework in your mind. I attribute haters to success. So when I see people hating, I put the framework in my mind. Oh, that means I'm getting bigger. That means I'm getting more successful. And that's a good thing. You know, because have they ever hated on a bum? Nobody goes and talks about the bum on the street. Nobody's talking about the dude riding a Toyota Corolla. They talking about the dude in a gold Rolls Royce with all the chains around his neck, right? So it doesn't affect me. Also, I really, like, if you really knew how I thought about people, I think most people are fucking square, lame weirdos. That's really how I think about most of the world. I look around and say, this is a fucking shit show. You niggas is lame. You niggas is squares. You niggas is not cool. Even dudes who be having hella money, I'd be like, nigga, you's a fucking cornball. That's how I really think about most people. So when I look at somebody who's saying something about me, I have so little respect for who that person is. I could give a fuck what he think about me. That's really just how I feel about it. Who cares, man? Who cares? I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm always right. I'm always right. It doesn't matter what I think. I'm always right. Whatever I'm doing is right. Whatever I feel like doing is right. So I wouldn't even have these type of questions. Whatever I felt like doing, that was the right thing to do.
What are the things you do to set yourself apart so women know you're not the one to play with? Is your image intentional and thought out, or naturally inspired by how you living?
Yeah, man, it's not thought out. I just be me to the fullest. So if I just be me to the fullest, the only women who are going to deal with me are ones who feeling me to the fullest, right? But most of you dudes don't know who you are. You are a carbon copy of everything that you've seen and everybody around you and everything that you think you're supposed to be. You say the right things at the right time, and you're charming, and you ask people how they're doing even though you don't give a fuck. You don't say the things that you think. So therefore, I mean, it's hard for you to take the advice that I'm saying because you're not real or you don't even know how to be. You've been faking so long, you don't even know how to be real, and that's the danger. Like, I don't care. I don't try to be charming. I don't try to have people like me. I don't care, right? And because I don't care, the only type of women who deal with me are the ones who are going to be okay with this type of personality. So it just works out that I could always be me. You don't really know who you are. So you should go somewhere and sit down and ask yourself. You're walking around this world and you fake as fuck to everybody around you. You smiling in people's face you don't want to smile in. You doing things you don't want to do. You talking nice to that broad who you know you shouldn't be talking to. I don't do that. I am me, and people either hate it or they love it, and that's just what it is. So therefore, I attract a woman who's going to be okay with that.
All right. They said the more people you give yourself to physically, the less your value becomes. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think so. Let's just say I was let me think, a billionaire. I'm having sex with women all the time. Do I have less value? Do women see me and say, oh, he has less value because he's having sex with a bunch of women? Or do they say he's a billionaire, he still has value? Now, maybe for a woman, in the eyes of men, she's been passed around, she has less value. But as a man, I mean, you think a woman says, oh, I'm not fucking with him because he done fucked everybody. Women will say that. But most women will want to fuck somebody that everybody's fucked to see what the hype is about.